This conference will now be recorded.
Start. Starting.
నాదే నా ఇది కనపడతలేదు నాకు. హలో
సార్ స్టార్ట్ చేయండి సార్.
నేను కనపడుతున్నానా?
కనిపిస్తున్నారు, స్టార్ట్ చేయండి.
నాకెందుకు నాకు కనపడతలేదు. నాకు నేను కనపడుతున్నానా మేడం?
కనిపిస్తున్నారు, స్టార్ట్ చేయండి సార్.
షేర్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అని పెట్టింది. సెల్ఫ్
ఎవ్రీవన్ అని పెట్టుకోండి సార్, ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది.
నేను ఎవ్రీవన్ పెట్టాను, ఎందుకో సడన్ గా.
ఎవ్రీవన్ అండ్ వ్యూ ఆప్షన్స్ లో ఎవ్రీవన్ అని పెట్టండి.
అదే పెట్టాను, సడన్ గా ఇక్కడ.
సార్ స్టార్ట్ చేయండి సార్.
చేస్తున్నా నాది. Are you able to watch me, madam?
Yeah.
Yes, you can continue, sir. We are able to see you clearly.
Right, chalo. Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. I am Dr. Tangella Shivaprasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello. We have taken another interesting topic post our Honorable Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat yesterday on 31st. He has headlined it stating that we have to be very careful with corona. At the same time, he expressed regrets that migrant workers face the worst of the pain during this period, he says. And also, there were experts committee which has been appointed by him. They said indefinite lockdown is more harmful. In that, they were categorically stating about migrant workers. మన్ కీ బాత్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో చాలా స్పష్టంగా కరోనా పట్ల ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో మనం జాగృతులై ఉండాలా, అదేవిధంగా వలస కార్మికులు పెద్ద ఎత్తున ఇబ్బందులకు గురైనారని తనే స్వయంగా ఒప్పుకున్నాడు. తను నియమించినటువంటి ఎక్స్పర్ట్ కమిటీ కూడా ఇదే మాట వారికి చెప్పడం, వారు కూడా ఈ లాక్డౌన్ ఆఫ్టర్ లాక్డౌన్ వల్ల చాలా తీవ్రమైనటువంటి ఇబ్బందులకు దేశం గురి కాబడ్డది. దాంట్లో మరీ ముఖ్యంగా ఉన్నటువంటి మన కార్మికులు. సో అందు గురించే ఈరోజు మనము ఈ స్పెషల్ షోలో ఈ టాపిక్ తీసుకున్నాం. మనకు గెస్ట్లు మిస్ లుబ్నా సార్వత్, వారు జనరల్ సెక్రటరీ సోషలిస్ట్ పార్టీ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. అదేవిధంగా వారు సుప్రీంకోర్టు చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ కు చాలా ఒక స్పష్టమైనటువంటి లేఖ, వలస కార్మికులు పడుతున్నటువంటి ఇబ్బందులు, ఆ సవరణలతో కూడినటువంటి, అంటే మొదటి నుంచి కూడా మనకు చట్టాలు ఉన్నాయి. 79 చట్టం కానీ 96 చట్టం కానీ చాలా స్పష్టంగా ఉన్నాయి. ఆ చట్టాల మేరకు తీవ్ర ఇబ్బందులకు పడుతున్నటువంటి వలస కార్మికుల పరిస్థితి ఏమిటి అని వారు సువమోటోగా తీసుకోవాలని, న్యాయం చేయాలని కూడా కోరినారు. అదేవిధంగా మనకు డాక్టర్ సాయి భాస్కర్ రెడ్డి గారు He's an environmentalist. He was ex-consultant United Nations. ఐక్యరాజ్య సమితికి కూడా వారు కన్సల్టెంట్ గా ఉన్నారు. భారతదేశంలో 18,000 ఊర్లను కూడా వారు చుట్టి వచ్చినారు తన పని నేపథ్యంలో. బోత్ ఆఫ్ యూ వెల్కమ్ టు స్పెషల్ షో అండి.
Thank you.
హాయ్ భాస్కర్ రెడ్డి గారు, వెల్కమ్ టు. సో బిఫోర్ ఐ గెట్ ఇన్ టు ది క్రక్స్ ఆఫ్ ది షో, let me quote two acts. Everyone is demanding that there should be an amendment on migration. The Interstate Workers and Amendment to the Interstate Migrant Workers Act 1979 okati, and there is also another Construction Workers Act 1996. Both are regulation of employment and condition of services ani it has been very clearly stated. What I really do not understand, after 5th lockdown, the Prime Minister of India states that the misery of the migrant laborers is really understandable and he feels sorry for it. In spite of both the acts which I have brought into the notice of our esteemed guests and to all the viewers who are on live, the 1917 Act definitely regulates. 1996 subsequently for the construction workers and all, it also regulates. In spite of these acts, how is that we have allowed these migration, labor migration to suffer, because they have been contributing immensely for the success of the development of India as a nation. Opposition leaders term them as ambassadors of development. ప్రతిపక్ష నేతలు వారిని అభివృద్ధి రాయబారులు అన్నారు. సమ్ చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్స్ దే సెడ్ దే ఆర్ గెస్ట్ వర్కర్స్, వారు మాకు అతిథి కార్మికులు అని కొందరు. ఇన్ని నిర్వచనాలు చేసిన పెద్ద ఎత్తున దేశ రాష్ట్ర అభివృద్ధికి వీరు దోహదపడుతున్నా ఎందుకు వారు ఈ రోజు వరకు మాకు ఈ లాక్డౌన్ తర్వాత తినడానికి తిండే లేదు, నెలకొచ్చే జీతం వదిలిపెట్టండి తినడానికే తిండి లేదు, మేము కరోనా బారిన పడతా ఉన్నాం, మా పిల్ల జల్ల తల్లిదండ్రులంతా మా ఊర్లో ఉన్నారు, మమ్మల్ని అక్కడికి పంపండి అయ్యా అని వారు మొత్తుకున్నా పంపించని వైరం. దాని గురించే మనం మన విజువల్స్ లో కూడా మనకు వెనకాల రన్ అవుతా ఉన్నాయి. కాలి నడకన పోవడం చూసాం. సాక్షాత్తు మోడీ గారు అభిమానించే ఇవాంకా, డాటర్ ఆఫ్ ట్రంప్, Mr. Modi admires her, the Trump and their daughter. She was on record stating, appreciating a daughter cycling her father hundreds of kilometers to reach their village. How did we present ourselves to the world? మొదటి నుంచి we have been very categorical and clear. మొదటి నుంచి చెప్తూ వస్తాం, ఒక తయారీ ఏమీ లేదు. మార్చ్ 19 నాటికి కూడా ముఖ్య ప్రధానమంత్రి గారు అంత కంట్రోల్లో ఉందని చెప్పి మార్చి 22 నాటికి జనతా కర్ఫ్యూ, ఆ తదుపరి 24వ తారీఖు లాక్డౌన్ 25 నుంచి అని చెప్పడం, లాక్డౌన్ ఇంకా లాక్డౌన్. We were trying to very clearly present stating that out of panic the policy has been flying blind. This has resulted in unfortunate deaths of migrant workers, not only migrant workers, all those who have been suffering, right from farming community farmers to the common man, because there is no money in their pockets. How do they survive? And then if you don't have money, డబ్బులు జోబులో లేకపోతే ఆహార పదార్థాలు, పౌష్టిక ఆహారం, న్యూట్రిషియస్ ఫుడ్ you need to counter corona, from how can they buy? Lockdown after lockdown you went on, and this has really caused concern for the common man. ఆమ్ ఆద్మీకి ఇబ్బందులు కొని తెచ్చిపెట్టింది. దాంట్లో ముఖ్యంగా వలస కార్మికుల ఘోష చాలా ఘోరం. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు పెద్ద ఎత్తున వలస కార్మికులు ఊర్లలోకి వస్తా ఉన్నారు, పట్టణాలకు వస్తా ఉన్నారు. వారు పెద్ద ఎత్తున వచ్చే ప్రదేశాలు, ఈ ఇంటర్నల్ మైగ్రెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఉత్తరప్రదేశ్, బీహార్, రాజస్థాన్, మధ్యప్రదేశ్, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్, ఛత్తీస్గఢ్, జార్ఖండ్, ఒడిశా, ఉత్తరాఖండ్ అండ్ తమిళనాడు. అక్కడ నుంచి ఎక్కువ వలసలు వస్తా ఉన్నాయి. వారు ఎక్కడికి పోతా ఉన్నారు? Whereas key destination areas are Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, and Karnataka. According to a UNESCO study, Surat at 58% has the highest percentage of migrant labor population in India. And Prime Minister and the respective Chief Ministers of Gujarat have to answer this. While the percentage of migrant population is 43% for Mumbai and Delhi, internal migration has become so ubiquitous that Kerala, long known for Kerala model of human development and land of expatriates, has embarrassingly become a rainbow country of migrants, pouring mainly from West Bengal, Tripura, Assam, and Maharashtra. Domestic migrants are now estimated at 25 lakhs in Kerala. This is mind-boggling. How can the government be so lackadaisical? How is that they don't have a policy for the commoner? And in whose interest government is framing policy? Is it not for the people, because people at risk? ప్రజలకే కదా ఇబ్బందులు, ప్రజల ఆరోగ్యానికే కదా ఇబ్బందులు. అటువంటప్పుడు ఈ ప్రజలను గాలికి ఎట్లా వదిలేశారు అనే దాని మీదనే మన చర్చ. లెట్ మీ కమ్ టు యూ, మిస్ లుబ్నా. తర్వాత హౌ డు యూ లుక్ ఎట్ దిస్ సినేరియో?
దట్ ది లాక్డౌన్ 5 కి ఆయన లాక్డౌన్ 5 స్టేజ్ లో మైగ్రెంట్స్ మాట తీసుకొచ్చారు. మైగ్రెంట్స్ హూ ఆర్ ది మేజర్ సఫరర్స్ అండ్ విజిబుల్ సఫరర్స్. విజిబుల్ సఫరింగ్ అన్నది March 24th నుంచి కనిపిస్తా ఉంటే మనకి May 31st ప్రధానమంత్రి అది చెప్పారంటే దానికోసం నేనేం ఎదురు చూడలేదు. ఆ ముక్క నాకు అనవసరం. దాంతో మైగ్రెంట్స్ కి ఏం తేడా వచ్చింది? ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ అని చెప్పిన వారు ఆ సంస్థ, ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ అంటేనే అదొక ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఇన్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్. అది ఎట్లా పని చేయాలంటే అది ఒక ముక్క అలా మాట్లాడిందంటే అసలు అక్కడ ఒక తేడా రావాలి. ఏం తేడా తీసుకొచ్చారండి? హెల్త్ వర్కర్ సిచ్యుయేషన్ లోనా, మైగ్రెంట్ వర్కర్ సిచ్యుయేషన్ లోనా, ఎకానమీలోనా, ఎందులో తేడా తీసుకొచ్చారు? ఒక్క జియో మార్ట్, ఒక్క రిలయన్స్ లో తేడా కాకపోతే ఇంకెక్కడా తేడా రాలేదు, ఇంకెక్కడా పాజిటివ్ రాలేదు ఇండియాలో. నేను ఒకటే 2-3 ముక్కలు ఏదైతే చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ గారికి రాశారు, ఇక్కడ హైకోర్టుకి రాసింది నేను. సో అందులో ఏమని రాశారంటే, నేను అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఐ రోట్ టు ద యూనియన్ మినిస్టర్ ఆఫ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్. సో నౌ ద మెయిన్ పాయింట్ ఈస్ when the migrants who run into crores, గమనించాల్సింది చాలా 2 critical points. మైగ్రెంట్ వర్కర్స్ మాత్రమే కాదు కదండి. ఇప్పుడు ఐటీ ఫీల్డ్ తీసుకోండి. హైదరాబాద్ లో ఐటీ ఫీల్డ్ ఉంది కదా. హైదరాబాద్ ఐటీ ఫీల్డ్ చాలా మంది చాలా స్టేట్స్ నుంచి హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నారు. మరి వాళ్ళు వెళ్ళారా? మా మమ్మీ మా డాడీ ఇక్కడ మాకు సరిగ్గా లేదని వాళ్ళు వెళ్ళారా? లేదే, వాళ్ళందరూ ఇక్కడే ఉన్నారే. మరి హైదరాబాద్ ఐటీ హైటెక్ సిటీ is full of cost. Nobody Hyderabad full of Indian all over India population. మరి వాళ్ళెవరు వలస వెళ్ళలేదు? ఎందుకు వెళ్ళలేదు? ఇప్పుడు గమనించాల్సిన పాయింట్స్ 2. ఎప్పుడైనా మనిషికి ఒక డే టు డే ఆర్ వీక్లీ ఇన్కమ్ ఆగిపోగానే ఎందుకు ఆ మనిషి రెస్ట్లెస్ అయిపోతాడు? 2 థింగ్స్. ఒకటి, ఫైనాన్షియల్ గా అతనికి ఏమాత్రం బఫర్ లేదు. రెండోది, అతను ఉండే ఇల్లు, లాక్డౌన్ డిమాండ్ ఏంటి? ఇంటి లోపల ఉండు. వాళ్ళు మైగ్రెంట్ వర్కర్స్ ఉంటున్న ఇల్లు మనం చూసామంటే అదొక షెడ్లు. దాంట్లో మీరు రోజంతా ఉండడానికి వస్తువులు ఉన్న ఇల్లు కాదది. అది రాత్రికి పని చేసుకున్న తర్వాత రాత్రికి బయట కూర్చొని అన్నాలు తిని లోపలికి వచ్చి కొంతసేపు పడుకుంటారేమో, కొంతమంది బయట పడుకుంటారేమో. అట్లాంటి ఇళ్ళు అవి. అట్లాంటిది రోజులు, వారాలు, నెలలు గడసరి ఆ షెడ్లో ఉండమంటే వాళ్ళకి అందులో మతలబే కనిపించలేదు. ఇంకోసం మతలబీ नहीं, बेमतलब था वो. और जब ओनर does not give money, ठेकेदार contractor does not give money, and government is not giving the proper money, there is no ration, and they are not used to taking begging. They are used to eating mirchi khana with their own income. They are not beggars. So with all this scenario, with no buffer of money, with no proper living facility, living housing proper lekappudu, naturally they will tell, okay, their parents, everybody are calling them on the call. Naturally they want to go back to their home. So when 24th of March The call was given for lockdown with, of course, the shortest notice of 4 hours. Then, when we saw within a day that everybody has defied the lockdown and it flied in the face of the government and they are on the streets, what was the government's responsibility? Immediately, they should have honored their wish, their basic emotional connection to go back to their parents and their siblings and their spouses and their children, and all the facilities should have been arranged. पूरी उनकी सहूलियत दिया जाना चाहिए था जो आज ये लोग श्रमिक ट्रेन नाम से चला रहे हैं। श्रमिक ट्रेन की कोई जरूरत नहीं थी, वही ट्रेन को आप चलाते और वो आराम से चले जाते थे। अभी तक 2 महीना हुआ रहता था, अभी वापस इकोनॉमी के लिए वापस फिर अपने अपने जगह पे चले भी आ जाते थे। But so much of disturbance was caused by the thoughtless prime minister. And on lockdown 5, he is talking about the migrants. Who cares? I say he has utterly failed in running this country in any which manner. I say he is not eligible to run this country. This country is full of hard-working, sincere people who respect the Constitution of India, who want to go by the rule of the law. And here we have a prime minister who doesn't even have the basic common sense to how to run the government. And he doesn't even have the basic common sense to listen to the economists, Nobel laureates right from the soil of India. Abhijit Banerjee, Amartya Sen, Raghuram Rajan. Why is he not listening to all these people? Joseph Stiglitz. Why is he not listening to all these people? These people told him, put money into the hands. What is the money that he announced? 500. And the 20 lakh crores did not go anywhere into anybody's pocket. So is this the way he is going to run the government and is going to fool the people? And on the health parameter, so on the emotional migrant parameter, on the economic parameter, on the health parameter, right from March 24th, he started all his gimmicks. When he goes on and tells people to light the clap for him, I openly tweeted him, "Dear Prime Minister, I do not have time to clap for the hands. I need to immediately nationalize all the private hospitals because we don't have, and the private hospitals are closed, which means it's a crime. That means the private hospitals, if they're open, there would be so many beds. All the ICUs, all the services of the doctors would be at the disposal of the government." Even when we are suggesting him, he is not taking the suggestion. Secondly, again he calls the people and tells, you light the lamps. We told him, WHO and the own government scientific body is telling that masks are very compulsory and every person should wear a mask. And till that time, even till April 5th, there was no sign about compulsory mask in India at all. We told the Prime Minister, for the 9 minutes that you are telling to shout, to whatever, do whatever, to put off the lamps, we appeal to India, do not put off the lights and stitch a mask instead of that and wear that mask and give it to everybody who is not aware of wearing the mask. This is the way we are. Our heart is beating for the country, beating for the health, the economy, the emotions, and the livelihoods and the lives of the people. And today, who is bearing the guilt of 12-year-old Jamlo? 12-year-old Jamlo was working in the chili fields of Khammam. What was the Prime Chief Minister of Telangana doing? How did he allow a child labor in the chili fields? And when she walked back to Chhattisgarh, she died when she was just 50 kilometers near to her house. Who bears this guilt?
Very sorry.
This reference comes, the passing reference comes in the after the lockdown 5. Who cares? His days are numbered. Let him remember above everybody there is always God. His days are numbered. India cannot bear such a hypocritic prime minister. We are not benefiting out of him. There are some crony capitalists who are benefiting. Let them benefit. We will see India will go by the rule of constitution, by the rule of law, with the help of sincere workers and the sincere citizens of India.
Wonderful, madam. I'll come back to you. Stay tuned. Sai Bhaskar Reddy garu, you have been UN consultant. You have toured almost 18 countries, 18,000 villages also. You have interacted with the lowest of the lowest level. As Dr. Lubna has rightly pointed out, Prime Minister of India announcing 5th lockdown. Even he did not announce, it was Ministry of Home Affairs. He comes on Mann Ki Baat on 31st, yesterday. He feels sorry for migrant laborers now. More than because we don't have facts and figures. How many of them have died? We don't know. How many of them are still suffering for want of proper nutrition? We don't know. How many are still in the transit? We don't know. How many are still waiting to go back to their places? We don't know. Suddenly, lockdown 5 opens up everything. Now, see the confusion. Almost all are in a frame of mind to go back to their respective places, migrant laborers. And it is going to put entire India into a deja vu situation. మొత్తం అక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడికి ఇప్పుడు వలసపోయే టైంలో 5వ లాక్డౌన్ మన్ కీ బాత్ సమయంలో ప్రధానమంత్రి బాధపడతా ఉన్నాడు వలస కార్మికుల గురించి. 5వ లాక్డౌన్ లో అన్ని ఓపెన్ చేసి పెడతా ఉన్నారు. కానీ వలస కార్మికుడు మైండ్ నా పుట్టినింటికి పోవాలి, నా ఊరికి పోవాలి, నా భార్య బిడ్డ తల్లిదండ్రుల దగ్గరికి పోవాలని ఇప్పుడు వారు ఆలోచన చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఇప్పుడు అభివృద్ధి ఏ విధంగా పోతుంది? 20 లక్షల కోట్లు వాళ్ళు అనౌన్స్ చేసింది ఎక్కడ పెట్టారు? ఏ విధంగా అభివృద్ధి చెందుతా ఉంది? ఎంతమంది నిజంగా చేరారో తెలియదు, లెక్కలు లేవు. ఎంతమంది దారి పొడవునా మనం ట్రైన్లో చూస్తున్నాం, బస్సులో పోయి యాక్సిడెంట్స్ లో చనిపోయారు, దాని లెక్కలేదు. ఇంకా ఎంతమంది పోవడానికి రెడీ అవుతున్నారు, పోలీస్ స్టేషన్స్ కు పోతే అక్కడ లాఠీ చార్జ్ చేస్తా ఉన్నారు. అట్లీస్ట్ పోలీసులు రిజిస్టర్ చేస్తా ఉన్నారు ఇప్పుడు. ఎందుకంటే ఒక లెక్కలు 19 ఆర్ పాతకాలం లెక్కలు తప్ప 2011 తప్ప ఇప్పుడు ఇంతవరకు సెన్సస్ లేదు. 2020 ఎవరు ఎక్కడ పనిచేస్తా ఉన్నారు అనేది. సో ఇటువంటి అయోమయ పరిస్థితులు ఎట్లా చూస్తారు మీరు ఇదంతా?
Actually, within India there is a real India. Real India means the India which is related to natural resources and who have roots, and they are the real people. And all other people who are dependent on service sector and other sectors and who are earning more than disproportionately are the super rich kind of few people. So that is another India. Of course, the employed and other secure people is a different category. But altogether, here what we say push. In migration, that's called push and pull. So whatever migration that happened from rural areas to the cities, it was a push factor only. And now whatever reverse migration is happening, that is also push factor. It means people are the most unorganized people and always being pushed from this court to that court. Like people play the tennis, so they push with a cock, like shuttlecock, it is just hit into the other court and then it is hit back into the other court. So they are returned back to the same court again. So this thing you have to understand. Otherwise also, see the fate of the people who are in the villages is never good. Although they are supporting the economy of the nations by providing the food security. As Jai Jawan provides the security for nation, but food security is also most important. Even now they are not recognized. And majority even now who are moving again from the rural areas to urban areas are the same people, the farmers basically. So it means we have completely ignored this sector. We have undermined that sector. We have lessened their importance in GDP. We have never gave them the pride and honor. In the total population of India, they are nothing. The people, they are slaves. Slaves can be bought anytime and they can be used and they can be put anytime. They don't have any relationship. See, when we have this same mentality, I don't mean to say slave means it is not literal slave. I mean to say expecting somebody to serve them without any responsibility towards them. What responsibility they have shown, if they have shown as per this Interstate Migrant Workmen Act and all that, if you have really looked into, definitely if they have taken care of all the steps, no one would have moved. It means they are really in an insecure position. Similarly, this building and other construction workers regulation of employment and conditions of service act 1996, same thing. All these laws are there, but in reality that is being never applied in proper shape, and this is the fate. And I want to bring one contrast actually. In Wuhan, when COVID-19 happened, the people in Beijing have never moved, no? The people from other cities have never moved and went to their rural areas. It never happened. Why only in India it happened? It was even the places where there was less incidence of corona, but still why people moved? This is the fundamental question. I don't think any other country globally has seen this kind of movement of people. This is very, very rare. Even the animals which migrate every year annually, there is a reason for them. But this
Yeah.
is the most unreasonable reason for the people to move from the places which they believed that okay they will take care. Their children have moved. Yesterday I was discussing with one a student who moved from Mumbai. He was born in Mumbai. He returned to village. Now he's telling, sir, even if I earn half or less than that, I will stay in my village and I'll be here only. See, this adaptation has come among people now. This once you relook into this thing, see our economy will not be on the track again very soon. If these people are not convinced that their rights are not being taken care, and now immediately all the labor laws, majority of the labor laws, like number of working hours and all that have been not honored now in some of the states. It is given a free lenience for the sake of economy. Again, what it
Right.
means? Already when
Right.
we don't have such farmers,
Right.
and even some of the people who are held captive for this kind of works now to continue
Right.
their economy, I think that is inhuman. Are they
Right.
slaves for you to hold them without providing the trains and other things? How can they do that? Actually,
Right.
when they are moving and walking on the roads, what right they have? See, you said lockdown. Yes, lockdown means even you should have taken care of them. But no, all the people were suffering. I saw some of the incidents even in Hyderabad and that place. The migrants were sharing one toilet, about 100 people, 70 people, one toilet. Women are also there, children are also there. See, in these kind of conditions, how they can be there in this kind of what you say, kind of captive? Are they prisoners? The prisoners have far better rights in this country than this kind of treatment for the people who are contributing to the economy of the nation. So, what I say is, let us relook into the people who are really migrating from rural areas to urban areas. Let us identify them as human beings and let us create opportunities in the rural areas. We have beautiful Pura concept and other things. So, let have decentralized economic opportunities. Why they should move to such far off places? If at all they could have moved to few kilometers only, then this kind of situation would not have been there. They are going like hundreds of kilometers away, even 1,000 kilometers away. This is, see, Kerala. Why all the people from West Bengal to Kerala? What is this logic? I don't understand. See,
Right.
this is logical, and why Kerala people are moving to all over the world? Why? Because they are highly educated. We should have created such opportunities. And again, when there is this lacuna and there is no availability of labor, then others are filling up. But this
Right.
now return of these migrants back has led to again Kerala this coronavirus escalation again. So again
Right.
that situation has come. See, your problems are not solved by this kind of situation.
Right.
So I think there is need for this strong understanding of our policies for especially the people, the sons of the soil. I would like to say, if I want to say, they are the real people, the people who believe earth, the people who believe the natural resources, the people, the roots and their local places. I think definitely they should be honored and taken care.
I'll
Otherwise,
come back.
we'll have more.
I'll come back to you, Bhaskar Reddy. I'll just come back to you. Let me go back as you have raised some valiant points. Lubnaji, as Bhaskar Reddy says, now we have to relook into this situation of the labor. If they are moving away from their native place to others in search of better opportunities, why is that we could not afford or do? But before that, you have really written a singing, I mean, with evidences, you have appealed to the Chief Justice of Telangana High Court. What about those acts? The acts are in place, 1979 Act as well as the 1996 Act. How is that when lockdown was announced or when Janata curfew was announced by union government and it was echoed support by all the chief ministers, respective chief ministers and all the political parties? How is that were they not aware that these acts were existing? They should have been taken care of these uncompromised people who have been giving their everything, their sweat and blood, their toil for the development aspect, even when were they paying very less, and also as Mr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy pointed out, using one toilet, hundreds of migrants using one. It is not only migrants, as you rightly said, right from farmers to everyone. Don't you think we have everything in place, but still both the state and central governments, including all the other parties and media, turn blind on these things?
Yeah, చూడండి మార్చ్ 20 March 27th నాడు అనుకుంటా the letter went from the Union Labour Minister to the entire country, all the state chief ministers in the entire country, telling that you use the building and other construction workers welfare fund, okay, BOC WWF funds, and you give relief to all these migrant workers. Letter ఎప్పుడో వెళ్ళిపోయింది, okay, but none of the states responded to the letter. It was then that I shot my first letter to the union minister and also to all the chief justices, telling that because 25 more than 50,000 crores are lying as funds in the building construction welfare funds. But what happened to all those funds? And now coming down to Telangana. Telangana, we have 1,655 crores as per the RTI filed by the CPM in 2019. And also many firms, in addition to that, the 1% to 2% of the cess that has to be paid by the construction groups, and this was not paid by leading construction companies such as L&T. And L&T, there's also more than 100, above 100 crores was not paid by the L&T. There was a court order on it. Then they went and brought a stay on it. I mean, so many things are happening. And what is the government doing? That is what is the point. Now 1,655 crores is the fund with us. This is apart from the many more dues to be coming. Now we spoke to the CEO of the Construction Welfare Fund and board, and we told that why you don't have on the website all the companies who have paid the cess and where all you are using the funds and what is the balance. Why don't you have it on the website? He said, no, we don't have anything of that sort. Then I asked him, what about these numerous lakhs of migrant workers? Because they all want to go and they don't have food and everything. Why are you not distributing the money with them? He said, Madam, none of those are registered with us. He is openly telling none of them are registered with us. And I asked all those workers who I was handling, the workers from Chhattisgarh, from Jharkhand, from Bihar, from UP, all the four groups that I was handling, all of them told, no madam, हमारे पास किसी के पास कोई कार्ड नहीं है, हम कोई भी register नहीं कराए. So CEO tells, no, madam, nobody is registered. Okay, I said, what about all those? You are telling in your website that 15 lakhs are registered. Have you paid all of them? He said, no, madam, the other accounts and the bank accounts are not there with us. Then I told him, according to the Building Construction Welfare Act 1996, you are taking a form. In the form, the Aadhaar number, the bank account number, the details, everything are mentioned over there, including the worker, construction company owner, including the license contractor number. So don't you have all those? Within 1 second, you can transfer the amount to them. What is the difficulty? No, that was not done. Till today, out of the 1,655 crores, not a single pie of Telangana's these funds has gone directly or by direct benefit transfer into any of the migrant accounts. On the single bahana, two bahana, yet though we do not have and unable to trace, we are tracing this, that. And second thing is that they are not registered, so we don't pay. This is how cruelly the government has behaved with the migrant workers of Telangana. And let me tell you one more thing. Now, coming down to the Interstate Migrant Welfare Act 1979. Now, why I raised that act in my petition is that because that act is a very big safety net for the workers. In the act, it is clearly mentioned that right from the source state to the destination state, when a migrant worker is being hired or selected by the contractor, licensed contractor, or even if individually, then both at the source state and at the destination state, it has to be entered so that the movement is very safe. And because they are basically they are semi skilled, skilled but not very literate, so this safety net has been provided, so much so that the displacement allowance has to be given, and also the various schemes are listed out as to where these funds have to be used and how they have to be registered along with the phone numbers of the owner who is working. And today, when they were in need of a food which they never begged and they always earned, the numbers of the owners were not there. Nobody was able to contact the owner and tell, come on, pay him all that, give them all the food and give them all the health and everything. Also, in the Interstate Migrant Act, the correct measurements of the house are given. That this is the measurement of the room to be given if it is a single person, if it is a family, the toilets, everything, the measurements are given over there so that the workers have sufficient place. So these are the, I'm not telling that the act is very perfect, but the act has all these safety nets, and this act was not implemented. Neither when we are repeatedly 3 times till now, we are writing and writing, we are calling to the CEO, we are speaking to everybody, but nobody is bothered. They are just thinking, they are thinking this coronavirus like a tsunami, like a flood. They are thinking that this will go away on its own. Nature will take care and it will go on its own. Then we will have our profit, money laundering, all this business as usual. This has been the basic attitude of the government, but taking the socio-economic health needs of the people who are vulnerable and who are spilling out on the roads. Everybody didn't come out. You and me didn't come out. Some people came out because they had a genuine concern. No housing properly, no money, nothing for the stomach.
नहीं,
Why would they come out?
लुबना जी ऐसा है because you are a social scientist also. So you have been interacting with all the downtrodden and all those who need help. उन सभी से आप विचार विमर्श ये सब कर रहे थे आप। इतने एक्ट्स रहने पर भी आप ये नहीं मानते कि हमारे मन की बात प्रधानमंत्री जी, क्योंकि आज हम हमारी मन की बात हम आज ये माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स ही नहीं सबकी मन की बात आज हम लेके जाएंगे देश के सामने। ये मन की बात के द्वारा आप ये नहीं समझते कि ये जानबूझ के ये सब जो भी है हम जो एक्ट्स बोलते हैं जो टू प्रोटेक्ट इंटरेस्ट वगैरह वर्कर्स के, ये जानबूझ के छिपाया गया। ना
जी,
केंद्र ना राष्ट्र
राज,
इसके ऊपर कोई चर्चा की, ना इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की। जब लोग रोड पे आके प्रोटेस्ट भी कर रहे थे, उनकी जान भी गंवा रहे थे, भूखे मर रहे थे, और आप ये सही बताया कि 27 मार्च को ही लेबर मिनिस्टर ने लिखा था, हर एक
जी,
चीफ मिनिस्टर, खाली वो
जी,
लिख के छोड़ दिया, उसके ऊपर फॉलो अप क्यों नहीं किया गया?
क्यों
इतने
नहीं किया?
प्राण खो बैठे और अब रोड पे आ गए। आज 5th लॉकडाउन पूरा खोल रहे और पूरे यहाँ से लोग अपने अभी घर अभी ट्रांजिट में ही है,
जी,
सही तरीके से नहीं पहुंच हुए। अगर वहां पहुंचने के बाद भी हमारे को एक नजारा सामने आ रहा कि वहां नरेगा के लिए काफी भीड़ हो गई।
जी,
ऐसा
जी।
देखिए
नो, मैं तो ऐसा समझती हूँ कि ये जो भास्कर रेड्डी जी भी ने भी एक एग्जाम्पल हमको बताया था कि वन पर्सन वन स्टूडेंट ही सेज दैट मैं आधा भी कमाऊंगा लेकिन अपने घर वालों के साथ रह के रूरल एरिया में कमा लूंगा। आई थिंक दैट इज द ट्रू स्पिरिट ऑफ इंडिया एंड दैट हैज टू बी देयर। लेट मी टेल यू व्हाई
बट
दिस आई
ये भी क्यों हुआ ये? क्योंकि वो बता रहे कि ये सही है, लेकिन ये क्यों हुआ? आज तक हमारे अहले गारे आप भी चोली चौकी में देखे होंगे, इतने लोग आके वहां बस रहे थे, वहां पर भी बड़ी एक पैमाने पर एक डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन भी हुआ। कल तक अपने लोग थे, आज पराये क्यों हो गए मैडम?
पढ़ाई क्यों होगी? वही तो है। नो, आई विल टेल यू व्हेन द प्रधानमंत्री, जब प्रधानमंत्री और ये जो फाइनेंस वित्त मंत्री, जब ये लोग वेल्थ क्रिएटर की बहुत शान मना रहे थे, वो इंडिपेंडेंस स्पीच में भी और कई जगह में, उनकी जो वेल्थ क्रिएटर की जो फ्रेमवर्क में है ना, वो किसके बाजुओं पे, किसके शोल्डर्स पे ये वेल्थ क्रिएट हो रहा है ना, वो जो नीचे की क्लास थी ना, वो उनके फ्रेमवर्क में नहीं थी। ये है सच्चाई। ये लोग ना मेन स्ट्रीम इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी ट्रिकल डाउन की पॉलिसी पे रहते हैं ये लोग। कुछ ट्रिकल डाउन नहीं होता है, बल्कि ये लोग जो बेसिकली वेल्थ क्रिएटर की फ्रेमवर्क में इनकी सिर्फ एफडीआई रहता है, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज की लूट रहती है, और ऊपर से उसको मोनोपोली रहती है। But it is not at all about the people who are shouldering all this wealth creation. The wealth workers, I actually call them wealth migrants को मैं migrant workers नहीं कहती हूँ, मैं wealth workers कहती हूँ उनको। wealth workers Wealth workers were not in the framework of the finance minister and the prime minister when they were talking about that wealth creators should be protected, wealth creators should be honored। ये सब बातें जब चल रही थी, उनके ध्यान में माइग्रेंट ये जो वर्कर्स के शोल्डर पे हो रहा था, उनके ध्यान में ये लोग नहीं थे। करोड़ों की ये लोग जिनके स्वेट से ये देश की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बन रही थी, वो लोग नहीं थे। वो लोग की नजर में सिर्फ वो सूट बूट वाले थे जो एफडीआई ला सकते हैं, जो एफडीआई ले लेके अपनी जियो मार्ट को पूरी इंडिया में फैला सकते हैं। सिर्फ यही लोग उनके माइंड में थे। बट जबकि इंडिया का मतलब क्या है? हर इंडियन। हम अंबानी भी बोलेंगे, हम एक ऑर्डिनरी वेल्थ वर्कर भी बोलेंगे, हम हमारा वेस्ट पिकर भी बोलेंगे, हमारे लिए सब इंडियंस एक बराबर है। लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री और वित्त मंत्री की वेल्थ क्रिएटर में ये करोड़ों के सैकड़ों के लोग नहीं थे। ये अफसोस की बात है। ये मैं बार भी कहती हूँ, इन्होंने मोरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी खो गए हैं। आई वॉज एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट खास बात में, मन की बात में, दिस टाइम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर विल एक्चुअली टेंडर हिज रिजिग्नेशन फ्रॉम द कंट्री एंड गिव इट ओवर टू समबडी एल्स, कि मानते हुए कि मैं इतनी बड़ी गलती कर चुका हूं कि माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स में। मैं ये क्यों कह रही हूँ, दर्द कहाँ का है मैं बताती हूँ आपको। ये सिर्फ जमलो मकड़म की नहीं है। लाखों लाखों लोग, जैसे आप वो साइकिल वाले बच्चे की बात कर रहे थे, ये लोग तो सक्सेसफुली गए नहीं। आपको मालूम है कितने लोग जो गोद में एक बच्ची को हम लेते हैं, हम 5 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं गोद सकते, बाजू रख देते, वो रोरी भी चाहे हम बाजू रख देते हैं। तो आप बताइए मेरे को, वो कितने दूर लेके गई होंगी, या रास्ते में बच्चे को बाजू रख के आगे निकल गई होंगी? बताइए मेरे को। जब इंसान पे आता है ना, तो वो पहले इंसान बनता है। माँ, बीवी, बाप सब कुछ बाद में होता है। जब खुद पे आ जाता है, खुद की भूख, खुद की पसीना, खुद की बेबसी, जब बच्चे को भी बाजू रख देंगे, बाप को भी उतार के बाजू रख देंगे। ऐसे कितने मौत नहीं हुए होंगे? क्या इसकी फिक्र है? He is condoned by telling that हाँ migrant worker ने बहुत पढ़े। What is he talking? Ask him to give all the statistics if he's true about his if he's at least now feeling truthfully that yes, he has done some injustice to migrants. Let him give all the statistics. He till today is not called for any statistics. And on the contrary, we hear of these mishaps like trains diverted, deaths in the trains. What is he talking? Is he talking like the Indian Prime Minister?
వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు యూ మేడం. సాయి భాస్కర్ రెడ్డి సార్, మేడం
చెప్పండి.
చెప్పినట్టు ఇప్పుడు లాస్ట్ మూమెంట్ లో 5వ లాక్డౌన్. ఎందుకంటే విచిత్రం ఏమి అంటే, వాట్ ఈస్ మోస్ట్ సర్ప్రైజింగ్, అస్టానిషింగ్, నౌ 5th లాక్డౌన్ దే హావ్ ఓపెన్డ్ అప్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. All these wealth workers, let us call, as she rightly named it, we will call them as wealth workers. Let us give them some respect to them. These wealth workers, in turn, who have been named as migrant workers, వలస కార్మికులు, కానీ మనకు ఆస్తులు సంపాదించేటువంటి కార్మికులు వీరు. వారు 5th లాక్డౌన్ ఏమో అన్ని ఓపెన్ చేసి పెట్టారు. ఈ సమయంలో వారు ఇక్కడే ఉండింటే నిజంగా ఆ యాక్ట్ 1979 యాక్ట్ కానీ 1996 యాక్ట్ ప్రకారం నెలకు వారికి రావాల్సిన డబ్బు వారికి వచ్చి ఉంటే వారు ఇక్కడనే ఉండేవారు. కేంద్రం కానీ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం కానీ కోర్టులు కూడా, ఎందుకంటే నేను హైకోర్టు కానీ తప్పు పట్టడం కాదు, మోటోగా తీసుకోవాల్సింది. ఇంతమంది చనిపోతా ఉన్నా, చేస్తా ఉన్నా, వారు తీసుకోకపోగా ఇంకా దాన్ని వారికి బాధలు పెరిగినాయి, కోర్టులకు కూడా పోలేని పరిస్థితి వీరికి. ఈ వెల్త్ వర్కర్స్ ది ఎట్లా చూస్తారు? ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఇన్ని దేశాలు తిరిగి వచ్చారు, ఎక్కడెక్కడ మళ్ళీ 18,000 గ్రామాలు కూడా మీరు పోయేసి వచ్చారు. ఇదంతా అయోమయ పరిస్థితికి దారి తీయడం లేదంటారా? 5th లాక్డౌన్ అన్ని తెరిచారు, ఇక్కడ నుంచి అక్కడ మన వెల్త్ వర్కర్స్ పోవడానికి. ఆ వెల్త్ వర్కర్స్ ఊరికి పోతే కూడా అక్కడ కూడా మన కాంపిటీషన్ పెరుగుతా ఉంది. అసలు ఎంతమంది ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు, ఎంతమంది దారిలో ఉన్నారు, ఎంతమంది అక్కడ చేరినారు, ఏవి లెక్కలు లేకుండా మన్ కీ బాత్ లో నేను విచారం వ్యక్తం చేస్తున్నా అనడంలో ఎట్లా చూస్తారు ఇదంతా ఫెయిల్యూర్ అంటారా కాదా?
డెఫినెట్లీ ఇది అంటే జై జవాన్, జై కిసాన్, జై శ్రామిక్ అనే అనుకోవచ్చు మూడు కేటగిరీలు. ఇప్పుడు అంటే ఒకప్పుడు అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ జవాన్లు ఉండే కాబట్టి అంతవరకు ఆపినాము. ఇప్పుడు లూప్నా గారు అన్నట్టు దట్ వెల్త్ వర్కర్స్ అనేది ఒకటి అన్నా కానీ, బట్ రియల్లీ యాక్చువల్లీ హూ ఇస్ చూసింగ్ ద బ్లడ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ పీపుల్ అనేది అనుకుంటే జనరల్ గా ఒకటి మస్కిటో మనకు బ్లడ్ తాగుతుంటది. సో యాక్చువల్ గా ఉల్టా ఈ వర్క్ పడుతుంది నాకు, ఉల్టా వర్కర్లది. అంటే ఈ రోజు కరోనాలో ద పీపుల్ డైడ్ ఇన్ కరోనా, అదర్వైజ్ ఆల్సో ద కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ పీపుల్, అదర్వైజ్ ఆల్సో దిస్ అన్ఆర్గనైజ్డ్ పీపుల్, they have died more than, even during this period, more people would have died in their jobs.
Yes.
This you have to agree. Otherwise, when they moved even from for this difficult situation, then also many have died and many will be dying. They are waiting for dying because
Unfortunate.
they don't have any money. It is very difficult for them to survive, and unless something drastic measures the government takes up, and unless they recognize them as the formal contributors for the wealth of the nation, as well as they are the citizens, they have equal right like any other person and right to life as per the constitution, they have to do something very drastic and redistribute the wealth. But let us respect them, let us save them. Without people there is no nation, and without this kind of people who are contributing for the society and well-beingness and happiness, there is no nation. So let us revise the policies in such a way, and real economic wheels they move because of people, not because of this black money people or who stash their money in some international, some other banks. Those people will never run the economy. The moment he gets money, immediately he spends the money, and this is what makes the economy go on. And if you think that that is the right economy and that is how the world has been created now, it's okay. Let us push all the money, all the facilities to them back again. Let them continue to live happily. Then again, when this lockdown and this opening up takes place, but you see the corona is not gone. Nobody is agreeing that corona is gone. Vulnerability of these people will be still higher. I think the biggest conspiracy in this whole corona is the rich is also getting infected, the poor is also getting infected. The rich, although they want to spend the highest amount of money for one vaccine, they don't have that vaccine. That is the only reason. If they have something like they can prevent themselves from malaria, they could prevent themselves from viral fever, they could prevent themselves from any other ordinary like water pollution and other things, definitely they would have opened up this lockdown. Corona is not at all an issue. The total people died is zero. Almost all, if you compare every day 50 farmers committing suicide for the kind of condition that they are facing, losses that they are facing. So like that, if you see all the systems, all the total deaths that are happening otherwise during peace times also, even this corona has brought nothing. Only these rich people to save themselves, they are creating this kind of situation. But the real challenge is when these poor people, when they return back and when they start working, when they get infected, do they really provide ventilators? No way. I think this is going to be even bigger challenge like we could see in Mumbai. Already the conditions are there. And Dharavi, that is the one of the largest in Asia, or you compare anywhere in the world. That is the biggest slum, but it contributes so much to the economy of Mumbai. It is
30% I'm told. 30%
no
more than that.
a unique community from all people living together and with so much relationships and networks. That was a very unique. Now that whole thing got shattered now completely. Do you think they are going to return back and get exposed to this corona and other things? Especially the old age people, all the young people who migrate, they might survive. But what about the people after 40 years? In real life also, these migrant people, after 40 years, they are nothing. They are supposed to die. They are left for dying only. There is no way. Actually, in reality, when they are able-bodied, when they are able to work like 20 or 25 or 30, these are the time exactly when they are really contributing. And after that, slowly they are dissipating. They are nowhere seen. They are just disappearing. We don't know how many are really suffering from sickness because of the occupational hazard is also there in many of the unorganized this labor workplaces. And why although the labor laws are there, if they had been really existing, whatever happened now would not have happened actually. Even the China, there you have never seen this kind of scenarios there.
Hmm.
Even now, although it
Hmm.
started everything from there,
Hmm.
why we are seeing only in India? Why in no other country?
Hmm.
It means there is something very big thing. It is somehow like you have a beehive, somebody has hit with a stone. The corona became a stone, and suddenly you are seeing this bigger challenge now. Now it is going to bite everybody. I am telling. Everybody will feel the pinch of this suffering of these people who are now real, who are contributing to the nation. When they are not honored, you are taking their honey, you are killing them and you are taking their honey all the time and enjoying. But today you see they are no more there. Without be no ecosystem exists. You know, like that you see this ecosystem which we have created, virtual ecosystem, this economy which is based on a non-agriculture based economy will not survive. They are the honeybees of the society. This we are going to face now immediately, and
Right.
we need to understand this particular situation now.
I'll come back to you, Sai Bhaskar Reddy garu. Madam, they are honeybees of the society. Yes, clearly labeled them
Yeah.
like you have labeled them as wealth workers. When they are being discriminated this way, when they don't get normal food to eat 3 times in a day for a family member, do you think they are going to keep quiet? This discrimination, right, which started from lockdown, even before that, the recession was also there. No one should forget. In the name of Corona, everything is being again put under the blanket, just showing only Corona. But even that way, this discrimination, don't you think these people will start agitating now, as we have been witnessing, for lack of food, famine deaths maybe and many, and at the same time, they are being discriminated like this, even after immense contribution towards the development, there will be a chaos we are going to witness. Is that the reason why in Man Ki Baat yesterday, Prime Minister has mentioned his regrets about our wealth workers or honeybees?
No, in fact, you know what happened? In NDTV, Srinivasan Jain, he went to the biggest construction right now happening in India, and that is the Trump Tower. The Trump Towers in New Delhi. So what the NDTV did was, in their fact check, they actually went to the work spot because it is a lockdown. No work was happening. And also, by that time, trains also were not running, but most of the migrants were on the streets. But the Trump Towers run constructor named Shapurji, and the all more than 400 workers were there right on the site. They were not working. They were in their sheds. Okay, so the point here was that when asked to what happened was that many of these construction companies were actually seeing to it that they get the bare minimum which will make them stay back and not go away. That was the point. And now then it is at that time that I understood that why immediately when the migrant workers were on the roads, still the why the rails were not on the tracks, why the trains were not on the tracks immediately was because they were waiting that the workers should not go and the work should start off,
Okay.
so that the economy will be the same and the nothing will be disturbed anywhere. That was the basic reason. But when they saw, but because there are the WHO guidelines to be followed and they were seeing the situation in India and they were extending it, so with all these cases and also in our India, Our focus was not just the economy and the health and the emotional quotient of our citizens. These are the three things which, as a prime minister, I have to take care. That the economy should not go, the livelihood should not go, and also the health should be perfect, and the emotional quotient of everybody should be safe. As a prime minister, it is my duty to take care of all that. But the ruling government, right from their figures, when they were actually communalizing the figures, and the world had to tell us that please don't communalize the figures. What happened to my golden country? We have to hear words from others. Qatar princess, the United Nations chief, everybody are telling us. WHO boss is telling us don't communalize the figures, don't segregate the victims, corona victims on the basis of their religion. What happened to my country? So our priorities were totally different. Our priorities were not just about health, about economy, about the employment, and about the emotional quotient, about the environment. It was not just about this. There were different agendas running. How to encapsulate this? Because behind pre-corona, what was the condition of India? It was about distributing them by basis of CAA, NPR, NRC. These were what were happening. Given that background, our focus was not single minded devotion to every citizen of the country, telling that your employment, your housing, your everything is my responsibility. I will do it. Give me the chance. I will do it. Did you ever see this humility in the prime minister or in his entire cabinet? They felt that 20 lakhs is a great announcement, 20 lakh crores. Who got benefit out of it? The migrant worker doesn't even know what is the 20 lakh crore that the prime minister is talking about. Who knows about this 20 lakh crore? I'll tell you why he spoke it in the Man Ki Baat. Because Man Ki Baat is heard within the radio even in the rural areas. That is why the Prime Minister spoke it out in the Man Ki Baat and is a passing reference. Otherwise, in none of his major speeches till now, he has not mentioned the migrant laborers at all. This is my critical observation about him. And even then, what did he say? What he told does not have any meaning or hold any basis at all for any reform, for any further action, policy action. So I am very, very apprehensive about all that is happening. We have to be very, very critical. And I am very sorry about the opposition. I think by this time the opposition should have actually migrants. So I don't know. No, none of the opposition have handled it well. The migrants just required somebody to tell them, no, yes, you belong. Bhai, we are sorry, bhai, nahi, chalo, we are doing this for you. Matter of fact, the civil society shoulder to shoulder they worked with the welfare state at a time when all the elected representatives were hiding in their doors. It was the IPS officers, the IAS officers, the journalists, the sanitation workers, the street vendors. It is these people who ran the country from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to Assam. It was these people who ran. We were done well without the politicians. What did the politicians contribute to the country right from March 22nd when the Janata Curfew was announced? Tell me, what was the politicians' contribution? If not for the Namaste Trump that happened over there, with Sanjay Raut is rightly telling that it is contributed immensely. And what about the permission that was given to the Marcus meeting? Why was the permission given to them? They had the permission for the meeting. Who gave the permission to them for the meeting? Instead of running after who gave the permission, they are running after the people who conducted the meeting. Are the permission people? Because the Shiva Sena government cancelled the Tablighi Jamaat meeting right in Mumbai. They had earlier given the permission. March 6th was their meeting. They cancelled the meeting. That was the goodness of the Shiva Sena government. They did a right thing by cancelling the Tablighi meeting. Why was this meeting not cancelled in Delhi by the Kejriwal government and the Amit Shah government? Who has to answer this?
That's a pertinent thing. Let me come back to you. We will try to end up after another round of discussion. Sai Bhaskar Reddy garu, as she rightly said, where were the politicians since March 22nd? And she also pointed out very clearly the sufferings and how is that we are being discriminated. Because you have worked everywhere in different parts of the world, you represented United Nations, you find such type of lethargy shown by the rulers, or even in such a sorrowful state as she was trying to bring it out. How could governments, both union and state governments, be so calm and so cool? And they have just said 1.7 lakh crores one time and then 20 lakh crores. And I think even you are on my show. We were demanding, as is also she demanded now, put direct cash into the accounts of the people. Even we said journalists like us, we are starved of money. Until and unless we have real cash in our hands, we can't buy food grains, which is quintessential. Leave out all the other luxuries in the world. So we were also demanding 15 lakhs, Prime Minister, you promised in 2000, at least do that. If not, at least 25,000 into each and every account, citizen's account, like all of us. Just leave out those 8% elect whom they don't want. But we requested them deposit direct amount. That is the only way they could have at least enthused some confidence in these wealth workers and also people like us and many, including farmers and everyone. Don't you think so, sir?
Yeah, actually, most important thing is with this corona, we have realized and confirmed that leadership globally is not existing. The leadership in all areas, including I tell the people who could have predicted this kind of pandemics, the health sector too, political sector too, or you name any sector, everybody they have failed. That is the biggest lacuna, not only in India but globally. That is happening. Second thing is even the existing leaders, the so-called supreme leaders, are representing such democracies. I think there is no second leadership or third leadership. It is only with this corona situation they become more appearing like they are the only heads of the nations. Because of this lockdown, it appeared like that. Whatever they say, even they are telling what medicine need to be taken. So they become even doctors.
Right, rightly true.
Right.
Yeah, they are becoming doctors, actors, and everything. So they know the solution for everything on this earth. So
Yeah.
they should have common sense. What is their education? What is their knowledge? What is their understanding? Did they create coronavirus? Did they release coronavirus? Why they are
Yes.
commenting Tamil or this, that, like that, DDT, this, that? And even now it is not existing. Yes, we know.
On the floor of the
Why
assembly, let me
leaders
add, on the
buffoon
floor of the assembly,
about
paracetamol and bleaching.
why buffoon leaders are there all over the world? Not one. I am not telling about one
Yeah,
leader. I
not
am
one.
telling complete leadership failure. That biggest vacuum one could see, and almost all people staying at home, watching TVs, enjoying also this kind of situation. Yeah, when leaders failed, also they are enjoying. All these days they thought that they are great leaders, and even they have made the whole nations like UK, America. You see how vulnerable they made with without understanding what it is like. Then, apart from that, humanity. Definitely, the humanity aspect is missing. Again, people are looking at various ways this particular expansion of this spread of corona and all those. See, even some civil society members they could contribute. Some sections of society they could participate voluntarily themselves. But I think ultimately we need to be more human beings. And also, most importantly, what is missing is the governance. The altogether, the Earth system governance is required. Even UN is unable to really tackle the national issues or international issues. That also we have seen very clearly. And there are also many times because of the funding kind of mechanism to them, and whoever funds to them they will be happy because their jobs are there. It is something like, so let them, when they have the role of human rights, ultimately this particular situation is related to human rights only, ultimately whether it is health also, but still finally human rights only. Whatever happened is
Right.
what we have seen is the human rights are not taken care in the whole issue, and again in the future also we are not sure how they will be taken care. So this revamping and looking into the global, because even we have not seen the people coming from America because flights are not there. Once they return, you see how it will be. Even many people are locked in different countries. They will be
Yes.
coming, they will be. When you see how the situation, few flights entered, then the whole nation got infected. Now they will enter with so much, fully blown people, and how what economic opportunity we could create, and the whole world is divided, and there is no economy which could support, and this the environment, our natural resources, everything are highly degraded, and we don't have much opportunities, and with climate change, recurring droughts and all that, already we have so many challenges, and above that we have this situation. So we are in a soup, big, very big soup in the history of humanity. I'm telling, in the history of human beings as a species. I think now whatever population remains after this pandemic, let us hope it is not going to create much destruction. But whatever population remains, let us think commonly, not just for human beings. I'm sure so many animals also got this coronavirus now already. They got infected. Nobody is talking about. If people believe that corona came from animals, then now from people also it got transferred to animals. It means the living bombs they are like they'll be everywhere. So this particular situation also we are not assessing. It means it is over completely. The world is highly vulnerable and in a risky situation. Who is talking? Nobody talked. You take all the news. Nobody talked about this transfer from human beings to other life. Nobody discussed. And mutations. Who is discussing mutations? And who is discussing the new viruses? Let us say I need to create a vaccine. I will definitely have samples. I will also have different varieties of viruses also. And
Yeah.
who will take care of this? All these biological these things, safe for disposal and all that. The nuclear bomb is nothing nowadays. All the
Yes.
micro level things are bombs. Our total army has no role to play in this situation. They are just spectators. Enemy, invisible enemy. What they will do? What securities we have? I think our leaders should think it is not about 5 years term or one election to another election policies. They have to really emerge not just for one nation, especially India, because we have highest and youngest population
Yeah.
globally today. At least we will survive, I am telling, because of age group. At least not like Italy or age or some other countries where old age population is there. But India will survive. But we can change the destiny of the world in the next coming 30 years, and we could play a major role in the global well-being, happiness, and peace on this earth. If we have all the values coming from our traditions, cultures, yes, let us bring them. If you think you are really proud Indians, there is no way just keeping our values to ourselves. Let us have globally such good values. Let us work on that.
Right. Madam, as he rightly pointed out, let us work on such spheres wherein we can become global leaders. And as you rightly said, from election to election, just not simple policy winning, but it has to be considered on taken as a big human catastrophe. And how do you look at this? Because you have been
Yeah,
working on
two
various facts.
two important observations, Sunday. If
Yep.
you look at the trend, the past 1 week, 2 weeks, what happened was right at the Telangana level and at the central level,
Yep.
we for us it has for all the politicians, basically for the government, it is business as usual. This is what is paining me. The pain is that it is business as usual for them. If they
Correct.
had bothered about the gone livelihoods and about the gone lives, you think
Right.
our economy would be open and FDI would be called in for? Don't we know what happened by calling in the FDI? We have opened our defense and the nuclear and everything open to FDI now, just to favor some people. And next, second thing, at Telangana level, the Telangana Minister for IT and Industries, KTR, he invited the Business Development Council to please come in. I mean, there's a frantic. calls to come and invest in India. At this opportune time, when you're seeing that there was a huge exodus within the country, which is unparalleled across the world, and we are so unsettled, the industry doesn't have its shoulders, its wealth workers. And here, the wealth workers are traumatized back in the most shattered condition. They lost a few people, they are back to their villages. Now they are not willing to come back. I spoke to so many who went from here. They said, मैडम हम
Right.
नजदीक में कहीं देख लेंगे, हम वापस नहीं आने वाले हैं. They're open about it and I'm happy about their decision. Let them stick to their family asset. So with these sort of things, when they are inviting people, come invest. I mean, are they figuring out all this? And let us remind ourselves, Walmart, when the UPA government was there were strict stipulations for Walmart. Of course, I am not favoring the FDI in the retail or the wholesale also. For me, I go totally by well-being economics and I go by Gandhian economics. Okay, I am not here into all these basic things. So what happened was that every Walmart was supposed to the resource it's whatever it wanted, it was supposed to resource it from the local produce. But do you know that Walmart has got it waived? No, even the local produce will not be coming into the Walmart. So why are we favoring Walmart at all? Why do we need Walmart? My own Kirana store, my Thera Bandi, all these are sufficient for me. Where are we driving India to?
Wonderful. Just end it, madam. And take pausing comment of Sai Bhaskar Reddy. In one word, how do you sum it up? आपकी मन की बात खुलासा कर दीजिए आज. राष्ट्र के हित में या देश आपकी
See,
मन की बात.
Yeah, I think
I'll come back
each person.
I'll come back to you because once she finishes and then I'll come back to you and I'll wind up with you.
Okay.
Yeah, madam. आपकी मन की बात.
yeah, no, I am not a Pradhan Mantri to give a fake man ki baat here. Don't give me his jumla over there. But here it is, our heart, every person, there are so many people like me whose heart is beating for the country and for the country's people. I am not the only one. So what we are asking is basic thing that every citizen needs to have his, it is enshrined in the constitution about his basic, the state directive principles are there. The livelihood, the dignity, the life, everything is there. Had the country, had the government of India, had the government of the states, had they followed the directive principles, had they gone by the ethics of implementing the laws and not cronily hiding all the laws, it's, it's the base. I'm ending up only with one sentence. See, India is not in dearth of manpower or natural resources, but India is in dearth of ethics and morals. And let me tell you one thing, just after this sentence, only one thing. This is highly for us, further also it is condoned because PM Cares Fund was announced by the Prime Minister. And he, even yesterday in the RTI, they tell that we are under no obligation. RTI does not apply to PM Cares Fund. The whole India, every whole world, his namaste, he speak me up, tell contribute to PM Cares, contribute to PM Cares. And he replies to the same public telling that I am not under obligation to show you what is in the PM Cares Fund. How unethical and immoral is this? Same thing applies to the CM Relief Fund. The construction companies go and donate to the CM Relief Fund but do not give to their workers. And the CM Chief Minister does not have the guts to tell them, go give it to the workers, contribute it to the Building and Construction Welfare Fund. What the hell are you doing? Do your duty well. Don't come to pass for me. He doesn't have the guts. So what is lacking here? It is ethics and morals. We need a honest governance. We need a transparent governance. These are unethical and immoral people. They don't deserve the right to be as the Prime Minister or the government of India or the government of Telangana or anywhere, wherever who is behaving unethically and immorally, it applies to all of them. I am not concerned with any person, whether it is Modi or KCR, I am least bothered. But
Nothing
if they are
personal against
unfair,
anyone or
immoral,
anybody.
and unethical, they are not fit to be for India.
Done. Sir, as she rightly said, immoral, unethical, and PM Cares Fund or CM Care Relief Fund. I have gone on Man Ki Baat and I have registered twice stating that journalists, as journalists, we are suffering. We don't have, last 6-7 months we don't have salaries, nor we are going to get anything, because all ad agencies have moved away, as she rightly pointed. They have deposited in CM's relief fund or PM cares, and there is no account of that. And when she's demanding, there is no account for that, where that money is going, how that is being utilized. Even when they are not in a position to uh, answer RTI, it is very clear, it is very clandestine. Let me be on this show, live show, very clear and very strong on that. And I demanded that you deposit at least 20,000 or 25,000 into each and every account, as you have promised in 2014 for depositing 15 lakhs. I said, this is the time. We are all suffering, migrant workers or wealth workers or honeybees or ambassadors of development. Along with them, common man is suffering, Mr. Prime Minister. Until and unless we have purchasing power, we cannot, even farmer cannot survive. He cannot sow anything in Kharif. And if they move away, the country will be in the doldrums. సో మన్ కీ బాత్ లో నేను రిజిస్టర్ చేశాను, జర్నలిస్టులకు ఇవ్వండి, మాకు డబ్బులు లేవు, 6 నెలల నుంచి శాలరీస్ లేవు, మమ్మల్ని ఫ్రంట్ లైన్ వర్కర్స్ కి ఎందుకు తీస్తలేరు, మాకు ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఇవ్వండి, అన్ని రాయితీలు ఇవ్వండి, నెలకు డబ్బులు వేయండి, మాతో పాటు వెల్త్ వర్కర్స్ ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైతే మన సంపద సృష్టిస్తా ఉన్నారో వలస కార్మికులు అనుకున్నామో వాళ్ళు, రైతులు కూడా ఇబ్బంది పడతా ఉన్నారు. మీరు డబ్బులు సామాన్యుల అకౌంట్ లో డబ్బులు వేస్తే కొనగలం. ఆ కొనడం ద్వారా రైతులు బాగుపడతారు, ఆ చిన్న మధ్యతరగతి పరిశ్రమలు కూడా బాగుపడతాయి. అప్పుడే ఉత్పాదకత పెరుగుతుంది వాళ్ళకు. కానీ మీరు డబ్బులు వేయకుండా ఓన్లీ 20 లక్షలు 1.7 లక్షలు అవన్నీ ఎక్కడికి పోతున్నాయి, ఆ లెక్కలనే చెప్పండి మహానుభావం అంటే కూడా దానికి ఇంతవరకు జవాబు లేదు. అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక రెఫరెన్స్ వారి గురించి చెప్పడం జరిగింది. మీరు ఏం చేయండి సార్.
అది పొలిటికల్ నేచర్, బేసికల్ గా గెటింగ్ ఫండ్స్, పార్టీ ఫండ్స్, మై ఫండ్స్, యువర్ ఫండ్స్ అనేది, దట్ ఈస్ ద నేచర్ అండ్ దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో సిస్టమ్ ఈస్ దేర్, ద హోల్ నెక్సస్ బిట్వీన్ కాంట్రాక్టర్, పొలిటీషియన్. The society is built on such kind of systems. The society, what we have forgotten is the base of the pyramid is because of these farmers or because of these wealth creators, and these are the real people. If you forget your own basement, you cannot construct any day it can fall down. So society which is built on other systems, then definitely we will have bigger challenges in the coming years also. And with this pandemic situation, with the economy or recession and unemployment in crores of people, I think we are going to face many challenges. I think now relooking into leadership, especially for the emergence of leaders for the earth, not for Delhi, Delhi or like Chinese leadership is already 120 countries are in debt trapped under China. It means the 120 countries will be under them. So tomorrow UN will be with China only directly. So because they are giving countries. So like that, if you see, this is not we are looking at. We want all the people globally live happily. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we said it's a whole is a family. Whatever happens in America, you see, whatever is happening in America today, you could see such situations globally anywhere. It's not just America. With one instant, it has not escalated. There are so many things. It is only tip of an iceberg. How many challenges are underlying, and they could escalate in different forms. We don't know what kind of things would happen. So let us not see such things happen. Let us revive this leadership and let us work for the global leadership. And there is a lot that Indians could contribute, not only within India but all over the world. And I'm hopeful that such an opportunity emerges with this kind of situation.
ఇది ఈ రోజు స్పెషల్ డిస్కషన్ లోని చర్చ. మాలోని ఆలోచన, మేం మాట్లాడుకునే మాటలు, మా మాటలు, హమారీ బాత్. ప్రధానమంత్రి గారు, రాష్ట్ర ముఖ్యమంత్రులారా, తర్వాత కేంద్ర కేబినెట్ మంత్రులారా, వలస కార్మికులన్నాం, వెల్త్ వర్కర్స్ అంటున్నాం, రాయబారులు అభివృద్ధికి అంటున్నాం. వారు పడే కష్టాలు, అక్కడ మన రైతుల నుంచి మొదలుపెట్టి ఇక్కడ జర్నలిస్టుల వరకు ప్రతి సామాన్యుడు కూడా ఇబ్బందుల్లో ఉన్నాడు. అయినా మీరు 5వ లాక్డౌన్ ఎత్తివేయడం, అన్ని రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వాలు ఓహో హాహా అనడం, దీని నేపథ్యంలో సామాన్యులు పడే ఇబ్బందులు, కష్టాలు మీకు కనపడడం లేదా? మీరు 20 లక్షలు కానీ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వాలు ఇచ్చే రాయితీలు కానీ దానికి ఏ విధంగా వారికి మేలు చేస్తుందని మీరు అనుకుంటా ఉన్నారు? జేబులో డబ్బులు లేకపోతే వాడు మీరు ఇచ్చే బియ్యం అది కూడా ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కడ ఇస్తున్నారు, ఎట్లా ఇస్తున్నారు ఎవరికి తెలియని పరిస్థితి. ఫిజికల్ డిస్టెన్స్, భౌతిక దూరం అంటున్నారు. ఎక్కడ చూసినా మీరు జనాలు ఉంటా ఉన్నారు. అంటే వచ్చే ఇప్పుడు ఈ జూన్, జూలై, ఆగస్టు భారతదేశం కానీ రాష్ట్రాల పరిస్థితి ఏంటి ప్రధానమంత్రి గారు? డబ్బులు వేయరా? వీళ్ళని ఇన్ని చట్టాలు ఉన్నా 79 చట్టం ఉన్నది, 96 చట్టం ఉన్నది. మీ లేబర్ మినిస్టర్ 27 మార్చి నాడు కూడా అన్ని ముఖ్యమంత్రులకు చెప్పిన తర్వాత కూడా ఈ రోజు ఈ విధంగా ఇబ్బందులు పడుతూ వాళ్ళ రోడ్ల మీదకి వచ్చి ప్రయాణాలు ఇంతమంది చనిపోతా ఉంటే ఊరికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత వారి పరిస్థితి ఏంది అనేది అయోమయ పరిస్థితి వారికి ఉన్నా ఎందుకు మీరు మాట్లాడడం లేదు? ఈ రోజు మీరు విచారం వ్యక్తం చేస్తే సరిపోతుందా? పెద్ద ఎత్తున వారు మన అభివృద్ధికి తోడ్పడేవారు. మీరు బయట నుంచి ఆహ్వానిస్తా ఉన్నారు పెట్టుబడులను. ఆ పెట్టుబడులతో సరిగ్గా నడుస్తుందంటారా? మరి దాన్ని నడపాల్సినటువంటి శక్తియుక్తి గల కార్మికులు కానీ, రైతులు కానీ, సామాన్యులు కానీ మీకు అవసరం లేదా? ఏ విధమైనటువంటి విధానం ఇది అని ఇప్పుడు సామాన్యుడు మిమ్మల్ని ప్రశ్నిస్తున్న వేళ మీరు ఏం జవాబు చెప్పదలుచుకున్నారు? 15 లక్షలు 2014లో వేస్తా అన్నారు, ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు వేయడం లేదు? ప్రజలు డిమాండ్ చేస్తా ఉన్నారు, మాకు అకౌంట్లో డబ్బులు వేయండి రా నాయనా, నీ కాకి లెక్కలు మాకు వద్దు అని చెప్పినా ఎందుకు వారిని పట్టించుకోవడం లేదు? టెస్టులు చేయరు, రోజుకు విపరీతంగా పెరుగుతా ఉన్నాయి. 8,500 కేసులు పెరిగిన రోజు మీరు 5వ లాక్డౌన్ ప్రకటించడం విడ్డూరంగా, నిజంగా విచారకరంగా ఉన్నదని మటుకు ప్రతి సామాన్యుడు ఈరోజు బాధపడుతూనే ఉన్నాడు. అందుకు ఇప్పటికైనా అట్లీస్ట్ మానవత్వంతో వారు చెప్పిన, ఇద్దరు ఎస్టీమ్డ్ గెస్ట్లు చెప్పిన మనుషుల్లాగా చూడండి, మానవత్వంతో స్పందించండి. నిజమైన అభివృద్ధి అనేది మన మానవాళిని మీరు దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని పాలన చేసినప్పుడే, వారు కష్టాల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడే వారిని ఆదుకోవాలా తప్ప ఎలక్షన్ టు ఎలక్షన్ ఏదో ఒక ప్రణాళికలు పెట్టి మాధ్యమాలు, మీడియా అంతా మీ చేతిలో ఉన్నది కాబట్టి మేము గెలుస్తామనే మీరు విచారిస్తే మటుకు రేపు అది పెద్ద దెబ్బనే అవుతుంది. ప్రజలు రోడ్ల మీదకి ఇప్పుడు ఏ విధంగా అయితే తిరగబడతా ఉన్నారో పెద్ద ఎత్తున రోడ్ల మీదకి వచ్చి తిరగబడ్డం ఖాయం. తద్వారా జవాబుదారుతనం, మీరు జవాబుదారు అవుతారు. ఆర్టీఐ ద్వారా మీరు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇవ్వడం లేదు, కానీ ప్రజలు డెఫినెట్ గా దాన్ని తీసుకుంటారు. దీని గురించే ఇప్పటికైనా మీరు మారండి. అట్లీస్ట్ నౌ ది బోత్ స్టేట్ అండ్ సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ షుడ్ యాక్ట్. At the same time, they should consider this as a human catastrophe. And in spite of Acts 79 or 96, how is that? And then in spite of a rider from your own union labor minister to all the chief ministers on March 27, how is that the prime minister or the cabinet did not move? In turn, it has created a chaos. So many precious lives have been lost en route, or many people were on the roads fighting for their food and fighting for their right to go back. And when this is the situation, you have announced a 5th lockdown, opening up everything, and you are inviting even foreign investments, as Lubnaji pointed out, our own great IT minister, Mr. KTR, who is going to help these industries survive once the investment comes. How about these people, the modern ambassadors of development or wealth workers, if they are migrating from one place to other, dying in between and contracting corona? How is that these industries can be run? Even after they reach their native place, there will be a lot of commotion as being witnessed now for NREGA registrations, for common minimum basic one meal. Now they are going to fight without addressing these core issues, without having any policy. How is that you are saying everything is calm and we are opening up the market after market? Is it only for 1% corporates these state and union governments are going to work? You have to answer. And even when questioned under RTI, both state and central governments are not at all providing any information. But mind you, people are on the roads now. It will be famine. People will fight for foods. Your promise of depositing 15 lakhs into each and every account has come true now. This is the time you have to deposit. Otherwise, at least monthly 25,000 into every account. Even for journalists like us, we have been starved of funds. Until and unless we have money, we cannot purchase anything. Until and unless people have the purchasing capacity, mind you, no industry is going to survive, and including farmers. For this Kharif crop, if they don't come up with a food crop plan, I'll tell you, people are going to die. No country is going to export any food grains. that has to be kept in the mind. You are trying to just vitiate the atmosphere daily by one statement after the statement without accepting facts, without considering facts on record. Until and unless you do that, people will be suffering. They are still suffering, and they have, because people are at risk because of corona and because of the lopsided policies without any hindsight. Lockdown after lockdown continued, and now even you are opening up lockdown, and whose interest and for whose favor you are doing this, people are questioning you. You are answerable to the people. This is for today. I'm Dr. Tangella Shivaprasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR saying bye. But do remember, wash your hands with soap or sanitizers. Maintain physical distance, not social distance. Socially, you try to unite. Maintain physical distance. When you go out, try to wear masks and also drink plenty of hot water right from morning till evening, and also 4 to 5 liters of water. Again, now the monsoon has started. Be careful. Viral fevers, gastrointestinal disorders, along with corona, and even the mosquito bites, dengue, malaria will be there. You have to protect yourself. You have seen how the rulers have been behaving when it has come to corona. So this is for today. See you soon.